here we sit with an opportunity for the Browns to somehow still make the playoffs. And I think with everything that has gone on, we know the trials and tribulations this team has gone through. It's not been easy, and it was never going to be easy. But I even think this is a little harder than we even could have expected it to be. With all that in mind, there's Kevin Stefanski, man. He's still in the middle of all of this. Somehow winning games with backup quarterbacks, finding a way to stay competitive with 4 different starting quarterbacks for the Browns this year on top of all the other injuries that have happened. And I still feel like there's some convincing for some people out there, which is a little crazy. Really, we got into this yesterday, Ryan, of counting up all the coaching changes that we might have in the NFL this offseason. And usually there's always at least 3, right? At least 3, 4, sometimes 5. And we expect it to be a pretty busy offseason. With all that in mind, is it time to extend the head coach of the Cleveland Browns? He's got 1 year left on his deal. I know it's not like he's walking into free agency, but you never want a guy just hanging on for a lame duck season. I don't think that ever works anywhere. And the question is, has Kevin Stefanski done enough for you? Get him his contract extension. Is that something that you're ready to say yes on? We'll discuss that. We got a Guardians announcement. Nice win for the Cavs. Thursday Night Football. We got our boost with Tipico. We got it all for you right here on a Thursday. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have alongside with us. Again, we'll have breaking news in a way, Ryan, at 10 a.m. on our show. They're not, I'm sorry to Hayden Grove, Cleveland.com, because I love Hayden, man, and he tweets everything about Ohtani that he can, but it's not Shohei Ohtani. Or maybe it is. I don't think so. But anyway, they have an announcement at 10 o'clock. They sent a video out. There's 2 other ballparks in Major League Baseball that also sent the same video. So can Shohei Ohtani play for 3 teams? What a breaking thing that would be. What if we leased Shohei Ohtani?
Hey, as long as he's not on the Yankees, man.
Well,
I
it's
don't
the
care.
Mets. The other two ballparks that tweeted the same video was Minnesota and the Mets. What if all 3 teams leased Shohei Ohtani? And they debate on which. And here's the rule: we can't play him when he's on the Mets. He can't play against us when he's on the Twins. I could do this deal right now. What if we split his contract 3 ways? It's like a timeshare. You have to sit down before the season and pick the weeks that you want Shohei Ohtani. And the Twins can't have him when we play him and vice versa. Mets can't have, you can't play against him. So you'd have to rotate through. What about a groundbreaking deal in baseball that we will split Shohei Ohtani's contract with the Twins and the Mets?
What happens if you meet in the playoffs, though? How do you decide? Is he just strictly done for the year?
Oh, that's a good question.
We got to figure out that.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Is this on a per-game basis? What if he played Tuesday in Cleveland and had to fly to Minnesota for Wednesday? What happens if he gets hurt? Those are all things that I have to figure out. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Shohei Ohtani timeshare. Write that down. Send that over to the Guardian.
Yeah. Let me write that down. That's a great
Put
that's
that down
a great
as an
use
idea.
of my time.
A Shohei Ohtani timeshare. Has anybody actually ever gone to one of those timeshare meetings? Do you know about those?
I know about them, but
they trick you to get down there for a free vacation and then just inundate you all day with signing up for a timeshare. Has anybody? I would love to know if anybody out there has actually ever done it. That'd be interesting. But there's an idea for it. But no, I don't think it's Shohei Ohtani, but you never know. So we'll get that announcement coming up at 10. We'll dive into some Cavs tonight. That was a nice win. I got nervous. I sent the tweet where I go, dude, if they lose this game, but they didn't. They held on. Our parlay, foul trouble, man, cost us on Jared Allen and Evan Mobley, but that's okay. Solid win for the Wine and Gold. We'll talk about that coming up. We got the morning update. We'll get to Time Hop. And our bracket of the week was very close this morning, Ryan, of the best classic rock band. It was 2 different brackets. The Beatles and who were close?
Highly overrated Queen.
The Beatles, and by the way, the Queen is winning that, rightly so. And then Pink Floyd and Guns N' Roses are very close.
Yeah, that's closer than I thought it was going to be.
I thought Tom Petty'd have a little more for that. Yeah. I really did. I saw Tom Petty trending this morning. I thought it was our poll. I thought our poll got Twitter all fired up on Tom Petty, but vote on that at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there if you can. We got a lot to get to this morning. We're starting with Kevin Stefanski, though, because I know that there's this group of the fans that they're not sold on Kevin Stefanski. And I know the in-game adjustments, there's some things on play calling, and when he runs the reverse, there are people that have about heart attacks when he does it. But it really got me thinking, Ryan, about what more does he need to do this season to prove that he needs a contract extension? And I say that coming from a pro-Stefanski side. I come from the pro-Stefanski side of this whole debate. And I respect people that still are not proven on Kevin Stefanski. I get it. Being the head coach of the Cleveland Browns is usually a very polarizing position. It's rare that you find somebody that unanimously people are all in on. And the thing is, as much as the quarterbacks have turned over since 1999, we know usually it goes right with the head coach. Head coach. And just off the top of my head, the two coaches that I think have gotten second contracts with the Browns, Hugh Jackson, with that whole was given a deal, whatever, after going 1-31. And do you know the other one, Ryan?
Wait, so you're saying there's only two coaches?
Since 1999, and I will give you a caveat. I don't think Butch got a contract extension. He might have.
And Hughes only one of two?
Yeah, there's only one other one.
Wow. What?
There's only one other one that I know of for sure. And I'd have to look up Butch. I'd have to see about Butch. But do you know the other one that I know for sure?
Was it Mangini?
No. He was 2 and done, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me think, because I'm just like going through names and I'm like, no way they got an extension.
So Butch was forced to resign in December of 2004 after becoming the head coach in 2001. So I don't think he got an extension. But there's one other one that I know for a fact did. You might not even know about this guy. I don't want to say before your time because it was since 1999, but it was a little while ago.
You might have to tell me.
Romeo Crennel.
Oh, see, I was going to...
So you say Romeo after the season of Dreams in 07.
I was going to say that, but then I was like, I don't think he did. Damn it.
He did. Romeo got a deal. So you are, again, in an era of 20-plus years where the Steelers have had 2 head coaches. We only have 2 that have gotten contract extensions here.
I'm so upset with myself.
That's okay. I'll give you the pass on that. Because like I said, I don't think Butch got one. I think it's time for Kevin Stefanski to get his contract extension. And I'm not expecting them to announce it now. There was an idea I had in my head that if they were going to do it, say we lose to Jacksonville, which we have a lot to get to the Jacksonville game. Of course, Trevor Lawrence said he's feeling a lot better. It makes me a little nervous. Whatever, we'll get to that game coming up. Good news on Denzel Ward, too, practicing. But if they, somehow if they fell on Sunday and you needed a boost, because that's been what the Browns have they've needed to find these little things. Having Jim Donovan go out and smash guitar, having Nick Chubb. They've needed these emotional lifts. In a season where it's been very trying and very hard, I think that would be a boost if they needed to pull that out and say, you know what, we're giving head coach Kevin Stefanski a contract extension. That's more often an off-season thing, but they could do that. The question is for you out there. If right now, today, you had to make the decision, if you were giving Kevin Stefanski a contract extension, are you pulling the trigger on it? That's our question this morning up at Matt Fontana Show. It's relative. I'm not talking about a lifetime contract. I'm talking about a 3-year extension. I think no matter what, that is pretty standard. For a guy that hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, that hasn't been to the AFC Championship, your second deal is a 3-year deal. And I think that's pretty fair. That would take you through 26, 7, and 8. Doesn't sound all like that much. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm off a year. That would take you through 25, 26, and 27 because he's under contract for next year. Or do you rip it up and say, hey, here's a new 3-year deal that starts next year? I'd listen to that too. But there is no world that I think you can let Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Barry, who, by the way, needs contract extension too, I don't think you can let them go into the last year of their deal. At that point, if you're not proven, they haven't proven to you enough to get that extension, then go ahead and let them go. And I'll tell you what, I will listen to that side of it. And Ryan we're always on the comments here, but on YouTube and on Twitter, give me the comments for no. I want to have a debate about this. Go ahead. I'm all for it. Because there are cases, and there's strong cases, to say no. But there's enough for me right now. I'd give him the contract extension. I would. For everything that he's had to deal with, and they haven't done it yet. They haven't made the playoffs yet. And you might be saying you're putting the cart before the horse. It's kind of why we're asking it now. If this implodes, if the Browns miss the playoffs, which Bill Barnwell, 66% chance for the Browns to make the playoffs. 2/3. I can do that math. And he gives the reasons on where the Browns are at. We'll run through that a little bit later. But if the wheels fell off, completely fell off, I would still say, it's almost like, what did you want him to do? What did you want him to do if it fell off? Now, you make the playoffs with everything that has gone on, we're good. You know what I mean? Like, you give him that deal, and you see where it goes over the next couple of years. But it's just funny that we are in the situation that we're in, and that's not a lock. When we send this poll out, it's not going to be 90-10. It's not good. I think at best 60-40. And frankly, Ryan, I don't know which way it goes.
Yeah, so how do you want me to word this? Would you give...
Right now, today, would you give Kevin Stefanski a contract extension? You typed a lot of words. I can't see them all the way over here, but whatever you got up there, that works for me. Send it out. We're good. At Matt Fontana Show. The decision, too, on the quarterbacks, if you're going to Dorian Thompson-Robinson, you're going to Joe Flacco. I'm talking more about the collective, too. You've kept this team engaged. You've kept this team relevant through a really hard time. And then you talk about the growth. Because one of the things with Kevin Stefanski, and probably the biggest thing about his time in Cleveland, we still haven't seen yet. What is it? Him with Deshaun Watson. And if you want to try to tell me that you saw enough in the sporadic play that you got from him to make a decision about the relationship between Watson and Stefanski, I can't join you on that. There's no way that I can watch cut up games and starts here and injury there. I still have so much intrigue on what they can do together. Enough that I need to see it. We know the Browns have no choice but to be in the Deshaun Watson game for at least the next season. For at least the next season, if not the next two. They have put themselves in this position. Why not align the head coach with it? Because I really think, Ryan, that's your best opportunity. As franchises make impactful decisions on players and coaches, what they want is the most amount of information, and it would be easy if you could just make ironclad decisions, right? You know everything, and we feel like this is a well-informed decision, and we're going, well, they have to make that decision on Deshaun Watson too. What do you need to remove then? Variables. If you brought in a new head coach, then we're going to have that debate of, it's a new system, and it's new this, and it's new that, with the grand scheme idea that winning is the most important thing. At the end of the day, are you winning football games? But in the grand scheme of the team and what the decision makers are looking at, I don't think you've gotten a fair shake on this. I want to see Kevin Stefanski with a fully healthy, full season of Deshaun Watson. I still don't have that. In the meantime, I've had him deal with the immense amount of issues that they've dealt with this season, and they still have a look at the playoffs. They're still favored to go to the playoffs. I'm signing that contract extension today. If I'm Jimmy and D. Haslam, I'm sitting down and saying, you know what? We should get the framework up on this. And especially, do you really want to enter that pool again? Do you want to dive back into searching for a head coach? Number one, in a year that it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive on the coaches that are available, but also the teams that need a coach. And also what that says to the rest of the team. This team seems to be in on Kevin Stefanski, and they believe in him. What does that say if you don't feel the same? That they've gone through all of these things together and kept it on the rails, and there's no guarantee for Kevin Stefanski beyond next year. That's a scary world to live in. And am I fanning scared a little bit to say, well, who are you going to go hire? Because that's my saying. I said that about JB Bickerstaff. I say that about anybody that you want fired or gone. That's fine. Who are you going to replace him with? Who are you going to replace him with? And I think Kevin Stefanski has done a good enough job to get that extension and stick around here. I'm intrigued enough. And at the end of the day, sign him to an extension, and then at least it syncs up with Watson. Because we know in 2 years' time, because you don't really have a choice for next year, and I really don't think you have a choice the year after that, you're in on Deshaun Watson. And if in 2025 or more often 2026 probably, you need to make that decision to pivot, then you get a clean slate. Your clean slate is new head coach and new quarterback. But that at least is synced up for that. And that's another reason why I'd say go ahead and sign him to that extension and see. I want to be proven 100% correct on this. I want this to be an easy decision for the Cleveland Browns, but it's not. And I'll ask you this, Ryan. Do you think making the playoffs, and maybe that should be an option on the poll card. I know I already sent it out, but there will probably be people that say, make the playoffs, then we'll talk. Would you buy that? Would you say that a playoff appearance for the Browns like guarantees that? That's a lock that Kevin Stefanski gets his extension if they make the playoffs?
I would.
Oh, you hesitated. That's not a lock then.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know because, if we manage to drop these games against like the Jets and the Bengals, then there's gonna be so many questions, right? So to say it's a lock, I don't know, but I mean, just to answer the question at face value, would I give him an extension today? I would, yeah. And that goes along with kind of like what you said at the end there was kind of my whole point was like, you don't know exactly where this team's going to be in 2 years, right? It's impossible to project. I mean, you have your pieces that you know are going to be a staple, like a Deshaun Watson. We hope like a Nick Chubb will retire as a Brown. But beyond that, you just never know. So it's almost like you said, just tie Kevin Stefanski to this Deshaun Watson experiment and hope once he gets healthy, we'll see that work out. But you know what? If it doesn't, okay, like you said, 2025, basically. If the Deshaun Watson experiment fails, that sucks. That sets us back, obviously, for
that
a long
hurts
time
you
being.
1,000 times more than a head coach.
But I think right
that.
now,
we know that,
our best bet to make that situation work is to keep with Stefanski and keep the direction we're going, even though at times it seemed like it might not be working and we're taking a step back rather than a step forward. But I think you're kind of tied to him during this whole Deshaun Watson era. And I want to feel it out. I want to give him the chance to get a full healthy team. And you got to admit at the end of the day, like he's got such a bad hand dealt to him this season. And all things considered, we're still above 500 and in a position to control our own destiny into the playoffs.
And I already got this in the inbox as well. The bar is so low, you're drunk on a mediocre coach. But okay, I get that, but I also look around the league. And yes, I'm not a fan of some of these teams that have and the thing is, you got to take out some coaches. I can't do an Andy Reid comparison in this. I can't necessarily do a Sean McVay. But I'm trying to, I don't know, man. Is there a comparison? Is there a comparison for a team that's been perpetually bad running through head coaches, and they seem to have figured it out? Do you want to know the one team that came to mind to me, young Ryan? Who we playing Sunday? Think about Jacksonville. Now, and again, it's kind of a similar boat. They ran through a lot of coaches. They did go to an AFC championship game with Blake Bortles, and then they jettisoned all them and all those coaches. But they've been pretty bad since their inception, right? And it's been a long time since Mark Brunell was out there. Who was a wide receiver for Jacksonville that was always so good? I wanted to say Cordell Stewart, but that's not
when
right.
They went to the
Jimmy Smith was one.
I mean, Allen Robinson was really good on them. He had 1 year where he had like 12 touchdowns or something like that.
No, this guy
more than that.
This guy's like their Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell. That's who I was thinking of. Keenan McCardell. Thank you very much. Oh, God, I forgot they drafted Justin Blackmon. Remember him? I was all in on Justin Blackmon. I wanted him so bad for the Browns. And boy, they got Trent Richardson. It wasn't that much different, but still, nonetheless, we digress. But Jacksonville, I mean, great. It's different. You know what? It's not the same. Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl. But, like, they found a coach. Like, I try to mark where the Browns are, because I understand that comment that our bar has been so low. So we have a coach that some are calling mediocre and he looks like a genius. I get it. But I look around and I say, I think he's good. Like, would you say Kevin Stefanski's in the top half of coaching in the NFL?
Without a doubt.
So then what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, and is that good enough? People sometimes get so tripped up that you have to have the best of the best at every position. And that's not necessarily true. Like, for the Philadelphia Eagles, is Nick Sirianni the best head coach in football? No. Is he top 10? Well, absolutely. That's it. If you get enough players and coaches within the top 10 ranking of their position, you're going to be one of the favorites. I just need that. There are people that are just wins and losses, though. There are people that are just strictly, did you win this football game? What decisions did you make to win this football game? And that's how they're going to evaluate Kevin Stefanski. And those are probably some of the naysayers, which I completely understand. I get where you're coming from. But I'm ready to go. I voted yes on our Twitter question. Ryan did as well. It's up at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there, and also you can watch the show. As of right now today, would you give Kevin Stefanski a contract extension? I voted yes. We'll see how that plays out throughout the show. Other updates for Sunday. We start with Trevor Lawrence. So he comes out and he says, I'm feeling a lot better. And I'm like, okay, enough to go play?
No way.
I don't think so.
No, if you saw that video of him walking in the tunnel that they showed.
He said he regretted not taking the cart.
But, dude, there's no way that man is suiting up. No, like, they're in a real tough position, too, because you know that the Texans are right on their trail, and they have what looks like a pretty easy win this week. So it's like, okay, do we throw Trevor Lawrence out there because we need him to win this game and the battle's still close? Or do you know we still have a game lead? We sit him against this, hopefully, what we've known as a ferocious D-line. So it'll be an interesting decision. But after seeing that video of him walking in that tunnel, I would be shocked. I thought, when I saw him walking,
I thought he broke it.
I thought he tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah, that too. I mean,
I thought this dude's out for the season, no doubt.
He did say this yesterday. He goes, I'm thankful it's not worse than what I thought on the field. Because there was that initial reaction. Yeah. You know, he's pounding the floor, he's pounding the turf, and I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah,
like,
he threw his helmet. I said, he knows he's out for the year.
Now, the only thing is, he feels a lot better, and he did not have a walking boot on for the media availability. That seems like a game to be played. Like he's out the door, he takes it off, he walks in, and as soon as he gets back out there, they put it back on. They're playing the game the Browns are playing. You know, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, practice limited yesterday. That is a part of the concussion protocol. So he practiced. They're not going to make their starting quarterback announcement until probably Friday, if that. Now, the other thing is, you see C.J. Beathard's got a shoulder problem now. He's got a left non-throwing shoulder injury. So they're banged up as much as we are. Well, I guess relative at the point. So I was all in on what you said. I agreed with you. I'm like, there's no way that Trevor Lawrence is playing in this game on Sunday. Now they got me, Ryan. I think they got me. I think Jacksonville has gotten me.
Don't let them.
I need to be smarter. I need to be a lot smarter and say, no, it's all fake. He feels a lot better. The thing is, you can start a game and on one drop back go, oh, crap. Or one hit or one rolled up. That could happen. I don't wish injury. I truly don't wish injury. And I appreciate the Browns. Like, they were talking about that yesterday. Trust me, they'd want they would want Trevor Lawrence to play in that game. You don't want an excuse. You want to play the best. And I do think that there is an issue about having to, prepare for both. And I know that Jacksonville's having to do the same. Different level there for Jacksonville, but you got to prepare for two quarterbacks. I know the Browns are doing that as well. Denzel Ward back in practice yesterday was some of the best news that I could have gotten yesterday. So he practiced on a limited basis. He's supposed to speak to the media today. That would be signs pointing towards, excuse me, I'm mixing up all my words this morning, pointing towards he's going to play on Sunday. And they need him. They need him in the worst way. And we had that discussion about the importance of Myles Garrett versus Denzel Ward on this defense, and at least having them out there. And for Denzel, a shoulder injury, that is impactful. I'm going to need him to maybe make a tackle. But at the end of the day, just play coverage, man. Knock the football away. I'm never in favor of making a business decision. And what I'm talking about is sometimes guys, they see somebody running at them or them as a running back, they run out of bounds. This might be a situation I want Denzel to make some business decisions. Stay away from the shoulder, and I'm sure they're going to attack him. I'm sure early in the game they want to see where he's at with that shoulder, and they're going to throw at him and see. But you need Denzel Ward out there Sunday, so I'm very happy. Ryan, that was like a little bit of a weight lifted off my shoulder that you're going to have Ward back for Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, we had that giant debate on yesterday's show about if we could pick between Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and Amari Cooper to be 100% healthy. The majority of the vote was Myles Garrett, but then trailing was Denzel Ward. And I mean, it kind of was a bit refreshing for me because at times I have Denzel Ward, no doubt, is our best cornerback and top 10 in the league. It should be. And it was just kind of refreshing and reminded me a little bit just to see in his absence how just exposed our secondary was against the Rams. It was kind of refreshing to be reminded about how good Denzel is and how game-changing he truly is, like his teammate Myles Garrett. Maybe not as much on a regular basis, but man, without Denzel Ward, our secondary just looked completely different.
And they got to make some changes. Regardless, you've had 2 games where you've been exposed on defense, and you're facing another good offensive mind in Doug Peterson. I like Doug Peterson as head coach a lot. I do. I think he's really good at what he does. And you're facing Travis Etienne, who I think is a bit of a sleeper as a really good running back in the NFL. You're going to have a lot of problems. You got a lot of problems. You're going to have to cover not Eric Ebron. Not Eric Ebron.
Same initials. E.
Why? It's now in my head.
Come on.
Oh, my God. I keep thinking Eric Ebron now.
Need a lifeline?
No, no.
You want to phone a friend?
Oh, my God.
You want to phone a friend?
I cannot. Dude, you ever get that where I for the life of me, cannot get Eric Ebron out of my mind?
He's a running rebel?
That doesn't help. But I can't get Eric Ebron out of my mind. Evan Ingram.
There it is.
Oh,
there
God.
it is.
Evan Ingram is the answer to that question of who the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'd be better off they had Eric Ebron. We wish they had Eric Ebron, but it's Evan Ingram. Is there? My point is that you have 4 guys on that offense that I'm worried about. Eric Ebron.
Dude, come on.
Dude, seriously. Oh, my God.
Come on.
I didn't even do that on purpose. Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Travis Etienne. You have 4 guys that can hurt you. Even if C.J. Beathard's in there. You're just talking about getting that football around. They got to make some changes on that defense. I think it's going to help with Denzel Ward coming back, certainly. All right, let's do this. Let's catch our break. First one in the morning. Get signed up with Tipico. We got our boost. It's up for Thursday night football. Spice tonight there with the... We got to get something for this game, man.
Tipico got that boost up, Matt, at 9:05.
There you go. It's up. So you go right to Tipico. Use that code BIGPLAY100. Deposit and bet $25. What did they boost it to?
Plus 720.
Woo! On a 3-legger, man. That's it.
And I think really the 2 of the legs, the mere locks. We'll get into what it is, but 2 of them are locks, Matt. And that one, the one anytime touchdown. We'll talk about it later.
I like that a lot, man. I do.
And I think if that cashes, that parlay's straight cash.
I like it. So we'll tell you what it is a little bit later. Get signed up with our friends at Tipico. We got to talk some wine and gold. I'm happy about that win. But I have a revelation of what I think this Cavs team is. You're going to need to hear this. If you're a Cavs fan, we got to have a tough conversation. And I'm going to have to tell you, unfortunately,
I think I know what it's about.
What you are going to have to deal with for the next 4 months. I'll tell you that. Bill Barnwell's path for the Browns to make the playoffs. And did you see this about Marvin Harrison and Travion Henderson? Reportedly an NIL deal to try to keep them at Ohio State. I'll tell you about all that when we return. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. Stay with us. All right, back here on the show, we're going to get to timeshares later. I have found somebody in my family who has, I asked, I need all the details. So we'll get to that coming up a little bit later. We got to talk some Cavs, though, wine and gold. That, good win. Okay. I'm not going to put I'm not getting crazy on that. That was a solid win there against Orlando. Orlando's a very good basketball team. And the Cavs got a 10-point win. Now, you were up by 20. You let them get back into it. And I had people in my Twitter inbox instantly go, they're going to go on runs. Paolo Banchero is really good. And I think, listen, the Cavs, this is where we are at, okay? And this is maybe something that took a little longer for me to realize. We're now 21 games into the season. Let's have an uncomfortable conversation about what we are going to have to do for the next 4 months. Now, Ryan, you said you thought you knew what I was going to go with.
Maybe I don't.
Please tell me. I want to know before I say anything more. What did you think I was going to bring up?
It was going to be, was it something about Evan Mobley?
No.
Oh, okay. Then
I mean, it's not specific to Mobley, but I think it's just kind of
about the offense. Is it like a whole?
It's the team as a whole. And do you want to know what it is? This is it.
Let's hear it.
You are going to have to deal with being a psycho for the next 4 months. And what I mean by that is this team is going to be inconsistent. I think that is the one thing. We are 20 games into this. That's enough of a sample size for me to understand that I still believe the Cavs are going to make the playoffs. I had a question I thought we'd get to this morning, and if you want to post it, Ryan, we can. Have you changed your expectations on the Cavs? Is it still second round or bust for you for the Cavs? And we know that if they don't make the second round, then yeah, JB will probably be gone and all that kind of stuff. But the change that I've had is this. I have realized that as a Cavs fan, I need to stop thinking about the big picture. We were just so lucky to have LeBron James here, right? Where the regular season didn't matter because you had the supreme confidence and the knowing, hey, man, we're going to make this, and when we do, that we're in there, right? And we're going to have a look at it. That's not where this team is at. So then what do you look for your validation? What do you want with the Cleveland Cavaliers? Validation. You didn't need it with LeBron because you just had it. It's LeBron. What are you going to do? Last year, you got your validation in the regular season when they got off to a good start and they beat some of the premier teams. You are now in season. You're not getting it, and it's making you crazy. It's driving you insane that you're not getting what you're seeking. You don't want, or you want the Cavs just to prove to you that they are a consistent team that can win 5 out of 7 and beat the bad teams. And I'm here to tell you that's not this team. If that's a bigger reflection on the playoffs and who they are, maybe. But I'm going to tell you this. I'm just letting that go. And I think a lot of fans will be better off just letting it go. Does it mean that I think the Cavs stink? No. I still think that they're a good basketball team. But what I need to do to free myself from this, I'm taking every game for just what it is. That's it. And there's times that we're going to sit here and say, oh my God, Evan Mobley's not doing this, or Darius Garland's still shooting poorly, or Donovan Mitchell. I'm letting it all go. I'm just going to watch every game for what it's worth. What do we got? Friday in Miami? Or Saturday? Whatever. You got Miami, then you're back to Orlando.
I feel like we played Miami like 14 times already.
I know. Then you got Orlando again, and then you got a back-to-back with Boston. I'm just watching every game for what it is. I'm going to come in with the ultimate blinders on. Ultimate blinders. And it's borderline me fanning scared, Ryan. Because when I start to try to put stock into them and start to try to believe, it's just going to make me go crazy. And you want to know what? I'm not going to enjoy the regular season. If I don't do this now, if I don't just say, I'm only going to be focused on this game. And it sucks because part of that is not having expectations. Ryan, I'm going to go into that Miami game and go, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I don't know. But it's also when they lose, I guess I can't be upset. Like, that's just where I'm at. And unfortunately, I think that's how it's going to be for me until they prove me wrong. Until they go on a stretch of winning 7 out of 10 or something. I'm just going to go, this is a inconsistent basketball team. And people are going to scream for JB's job, or they're going to make this statement about this team or not. And I got nothing for it. I really don't. Have they disappointed me to this point? A little bit. Like, I'm not somebody that's saying that the Cavs should be in the number 1 seed right now. They are who we thought they were, right? Like, maybe this is just who the Cavs are. The problem is you can't say all that and then not be like, well, how could you expect them to make the second round of the playoffs if they can't get that consistency figured out? That is it. Like, they still had 15 turnovers yesterday. 15 turnovers.
Yeah, Matt, I was going to say my 3 takeaways from yesterday's game, if you'll indulge me.
Please.
Number 1, I'll start just from the top, and I'll get to that one last because that was a great point with your turnovers.
Atrocious.
Evan Mobley, right?
Yep.
Generational talent on defense.
Yes.
He's got to start finishing at the rim better. I like seeing him take the ball up. He's one of those tall centers that, has the ability and doesn't look super weird when he takes the ball up. But he's got to finish.
He can play above the rim.
Yes, he's got to finish at the rim better.
Yes.
Second, oh my God, what was I about to say? Whatever, I'll get to that. But you're right. That first half, I don't know if you put it on the players. Obviously you do. But how much you put it on Bickerstaff or maybe not instilling it or getting on them. They got to cut those turnovers out.
Yeah.
It is getting ridiculous.
That's how a team comes back from a 20-point.
That second quarter, there was just 3 possessions in a row. Didn't even look like they wanted to be out there.
No.
Quite frankly.
And is it them doing too much? Is it them trying? I don't know. Last night was really hard because you got a lot of guys in foul trouble. You had a lot of guys that they had to restrict minutes, and I had to see my guy Dean Wade get out there.
Oh, that was my third takeaway, and it's a good one, so I'm glad I saved it for last. Max Strus signing. Amazing.
Okay. I'm going to sound really negative. He started 3 for 3, right? He finished then 1 for 5 because he only finished 4 out of 8 from behind the arc.
Yeah, Cavs
shot better. They shot 41% from behind. That's better. And I think for the frustrations that I have, turnovers and 3-point shooting. That's it. That's 1 and 2 for the Cavs right now.
Yeah.
And those things can be remedied. They can be fixed. But, I think we just need to accept that this is going to be an extremely inconsistent basketball team.
I mean, the thing is, which sucks, is when Mobley or Allen are in foul trouble, we're so exposed.
Yeah.
We're so exposed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you're going to need, last night, the crazy thing is you had to get 42 shots between Darius Garland and Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, Mitchell went off for 35 and a nice 26 there from Garland. I can live with that for a couple of games. I would imagine that's not something that you can really go an entire season of having 2 guys take 42 shots in a game. But if that's what you got to do, it's what you got to do. And the thing is, the same debate that we've had, is Donovan Mitchell a guy that you can turn to and say, hey, man, just take all these shots and try to, will us to a win. The one of the positives and one thing that I did feel really good about the Cavs last night, because I'm not down on the Cavs. I know it sounds like I'm not. I truly am not. They're just an inconsistent basketball team, and I'm going to have to live with that until they figure it out. And I'm going to watch every game as I always do. We'll do our typical boost for them as we always do, and I want them to win. But I am just going to enter every single game that they play without expectations that they could win by 20 or they could get smoked by 20. That's who this team is, and I think accepting it will help all of us navigate this season a little bit better. What I was going to say, though, about watching the Cavs play last night, that gave me a little positivity that their backs were against the wall and they came out scorching. They came out with a little fire because in this, fire JB or all these changes and all that kind of stuff, you want to see a team come out with a little bit of chutzpah. And they did yesterday. So that's your pot, like that chutzpah. A little fire under it, a little fire under their butt. And they got out there and they showed that. So that tells me at least they're still behind JB. Those guys are smart. They're professionals. They know what the game is. They know the stakes that are on right now. And they came out and they said, we're going to go out there and play. Can they play to that level every game? No. Is it going to be, again, going back to the inconsistency? 1,000%. But I was just happy that they showed up with a little bit of fire last night. Now, you enter a really hard stretch. This was game 1 of a 5-game stretch that I really kind of, again, no expectations, I just said. But really, this 5-game stretch is going to tell you a lot. You got playoff contending teams, Boston, Orlando, and Miami. Let's see what you got. And that's where I'm at right now. Let's see what we got. I don't know what we have in this team right now. I'm not ready to make any sweeping changes. I'm not ready to make any real declarations. You're this far to the season. You're above 500. You've had some good wins. You've had some bad losses. Let's roll the basketball out and see. I don't have anything for is it? I keep saying Saturday. It's tomorrow. No, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Miami, 8 o'clock. I'm assuming that's a national game if it's 8 o'clock.
Is that home or in Miami?
It's in Miami. It's not a national game. Interesting. 8 o'clock down there in Miami. Okay. All right. Go. They don't have Bam Adebayo. Let's see what you got. That's it. We'll do our boost for that tomorrow as we do for our weekend as well. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Cavs, just as we kind of cinch things up there. I saw that this morning. This was retweeted from our friend Jack Duffin. So Jack, of course, capologist. He writes for OBR.
Is that a real title? Capologist?
Yeah, I mean, that's what he calls himself. Anybody can make their own title.
I like that.
You can call yourself whatever you want, right? You want to come up with your title by the end of the show?
Produceologist?
Yeah, sure, that's fine with me. It sounds like you work in the produce department of a store, but that's fine. Yeah, produceologist. Technically, you are an audio engineer, audio-video engineer.
That sounds a little more professional.
Well, so when I first got into radio, which was 2009, I got hired. My first paying job in professional radio was 2010. And I had to train with a lot of people. And the one person I trained with, he called himself an engineer. And I don't know, like as a kid, you think of an engineer as
I tell girls I'm an engineer?
Yeah, sure. You can do it. Yeah, exactly. Because technically you are an audio-visual engineer. Because you control what you're doing over there.
All right.
I think of an engineer, like my brother-in-law is an engineer, right? So he designs things and builds things. That's what I always thought of with an engineer. But technically you are building and controlling the show. So therefore you are an audio-visual engineer. If you want to call yourself that, you can do whatever you want.
I can just leave those two words off and just say I'm an engineer.
If you want, yeah.
All right, well, that's what I'm going to do.
Whatever's going to help you talk to chicks at the bar.
I was going to say, I'll report back Monday. This will be my first weekend.
Get Dave and Ken to make you up some phony business cards.
This will be my first weekend.
I'll order you 500 right now.
I tell the ladies I'm a engineer.
Sure. And that'll work for a while.
We'll see if that...
And then, they'll ask about the paycheck, and then that'll become pretty appealing.
Yeah, I don't think it's my job title that's holding me back.
That's not... whatever you got to do,
I might have
man.
some other things to fix.
That's fine. Whatever. We'll work on that. We got plenty of time to work on that. I've been out of the game, thankfully, for a very long time. But I was in the game at one point. Things have changed.
It's gotten rough out here, Matt.
Do you want to know the crazy?
It's a dangerous game nowadays, I'm telling you.
So for those that don't know, for my prior job, my wife and I have known each other for 10 years. We've been together 8, and we've been married for 5. We have 2 kids. So I've been out of the game a long time. I have never once downloaded Tinder, ever. Like, so for my generation, that's crazy, right? Because by the time that I met my wife, we'd started dating. I had no reason to download any of those dating apps.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is a world that I don't get. Going to the bar.
Oh, it's not fun.
I have no idea how that works anymore. And I just, from 1,000-foot view, I feel like it's jumped the shark.
The problem,
Has it?
The problem is it's really...
Is it bad out there?
Yeah. But the reason it's bad out there is because everybody's so glued to their phones and they don't know how to talk to people anymore.
Oh, you're talking about when you actually get to dating. Okay, yeah. Sure, and that's a world that I'm sure that, you're sitting down, you're trying to have a meaningful conversation with somebody.
It's horrible, Matt.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Then again, same thing, I don't have a lot of friends that are on Tinder anymore. I actually, frankly, most of my friends all are either married or engaged or in a serious relationship. So, but 8 years ago or whatever, I'm dating Steph and my friends are still on, and I would hear this, and I'm like, man, it's that simple that you just swipe. And then you start a conversation online. Okay, it's no different than texting. But then catfishing. And you meet this I think it sounds very dangerous too. And we know there's a lot of those stories out there too, but just how, and granted, we have friends.
It's full of bots. It's just like Twitter, dude.
Okay, I was just going to ask about that.
It's
how
so
real
bad.
is that?
It's so bad.
And I think in a generation that I am, I have multiple people that I know that are now married after meeting on a dating app. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. You met the person you were supposed to meet. That's fantastic. Awesome. But it's just that. So when we talk about helping out, I can help you out in a way. I'm rusty, but the bar scene and going to the bar in college.
I need a wingman.
Oh, I'm bad. I had no. My wife would tell you, man, I had no game. I have no game whatsoever.
How'd you land her?
My friend DM'd her my number, and she made pretty much every move to get that started.
That might be a success story because I don't think that would work more than often than not.
Swear to God. I met her. I knew who she, like we met at work. She actually thought I hated her because I was so afraid to talk to her. Seriously.
Isn't that crazy how
I
works?
was so deathly afraid to talk to her.
Yeah, your brain just like turns off.
I thought she still is and was the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. I was starstruck. I was absolutely starstruck.
I'm telling you, your brain doesn't work when you're around those people.
I literally cast her aside. Like, I didn't want to talk to her because I said, I'm going to say something stupid or I'm going to screw this up, so much that her friends would come to me and be like, why do you hate Steph? And I'm like, oh, trust me, I don't hate her. It's the exact opposite. So then she actually went back to school. We met over the summer while we were working. And she went back to school. My friend DM'd her my number. And that's how it all started. And it's funny because like our Facebook friendship anniversary was like last week or something like that. And all the comments, she's like, where would we be today if I didn't do anything? And I go, I don't know.
Yeah,
it'd be a scary world to be in. I'll tell you that.
You
right
gotta
now.
like, you owe this friend your life.
I do. I thank him very much. I was in his wedding. I thank him I very much thank him for that. And really, again, my wife, because she'd be like, this guy's a jerk. He's not responding to anything. Screw him. Here we are today.
Who would have thought if you could go back and tell
I know,
however
right?
old
It's
you
crazy.
were that you'd have a child with this woman?
I should have probably stepped up a little bit. So that's where I don't know if I can help. I'm out on helping you on the online stuff. The in-person thing, I don't know. But how did we start talking about this?
Because the reason we were talking about
we're talking about your titles. Yeah, that's right.
And I can tell ladies now that I'm an engineer.
You can tell yourself that you're an engineer, or tell them you're an engineer.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Maybe I'll,
try that. Report back. See how that goes.
It'll be this weekend will be the test run.
Anybody out there listening that is single and or has a single friend or a single daughter or whatever, Brian is very available.
Throw me a bone.
Hit him up in the DMs there. What really started with this was Jack. So I talked about Jack Duffin, the capologist, a capologist engineer for the OBR. He retweeted something this morning that I thought was interesting. And I say this because, okay, all right. There's a guy named Christian Williams who I have not vetted this story. I saw Jack retweet it. Christian is verified on Twitter, which means very little in today's day and age. And he's got, I don't know, 10,000 or 11,000 followers. So take that for what it is. But he sent a tweet out this morning that Marvin Harrison Jr. and Travion Henderson have allegedly been offered NIL deals that would rival first-round draft pick money to keep them at Ohio State for next season, per sources. It's unclear if they will accept those deals. I will tell you, sitting right here today, there is no way they are accepting those deals. Absolutely not. And that's the same thing with Caleb Williams that tried to pull that NIL stuff, or I'll stay. They're nuts. Anybody, anything that would steer these people right, because that's the other problem with college athletics. You got a lot of people that want to take advantage of young people that are going to be making a lot of money and take advantage of their family, and they get bad advice. They're going to the pros. Because first-round picks, which Travion Henderson and Marvin Harrison will be, they will have that 4-year deal with the 5th-year option. Yeah, they could get a deal for $7 million for the first year. But then you are missing out on so much money down the line. And Jack even tweeted, that'd be like maybe passing up on $40-odd-some million. That's not happening. There's no way that that's happening. But, and also, like, why would they want to come back to Ohio State? We've discussed it a little bit that there's, Riley Leonard is trending, the Duke quarterback, and they'll go get one in the transfer portal. Why would they want to come back to that? The same reason that Kyle McCord transferred, the same now, and this is crazy for me to say, I think now is about as good as time as you can get to get the hell out of there. Because I'm not some alarmist. I'm not somebody that's like Ohio State is a factory. They have built it up where they're going to be competitive almost every year, and they've got a good recruiting portal, and they've got a good recruiting class coming, all that kind of stuff. You don't want to be there right now, I don't think. I don't think now's a good time to be at Ohio State. I just feel like something's brewing there. And it's hard to say that, but you're like, it's not even a question. You are staring down the NFL and tens of millions of dollars, and you want to go back to Ohio State, who's in a state of flux right now for pennies? No. And if that really is true, which again, I don't know who Christian Williams is. This could be true. This could be not true. I don't know. But Ohio State, I guess, has the power to do that. And are they trying to save face? Maybe. But that's what you know. Like, I could have told you that the second that the Bosas and Zeke Elliott and Michael Thomas and Marvin Harrison and Travion Henderson and Chase Young, the second those guys hit campus, you got 3 years, man. That's why a lot of them, they don't even bother with a red shirt. You might as well put them out there because they're gone. They are absolutely gone. And I think that's maybe an issue of what Ohio State has become. You used to have multiple guys. Now you got nobody. Really? Like, that's kind of the miss, I think. There's just, who's the big recruit? Aaron Noland? Is that it?
Well, I'm like, and you know, this is obviously coming from a guy who hasn't played football, you know, at a high level, so I have no idea what their mindset is. But when you see this much money on the table and you're a prospect, like you mentioned, a Bosa, Chase Young, and this doesn't even just go for Ohio State, but every other school, like, really, how important is a national championship to you in the grand scheme of it? If you could just go play somewhere else, make more NIL money, then still go to the NFL like you were going to, and, you know, not waste time, because the second you get to the NFL, that time's ticking until you get your second contract.
Yeah.
So, like, realistically, how important is, like, a national championship to these guys?
Not very. I mean, they say it, sure, and I think you would want that to go down. I mean, if you can win one, I think that's an important thing. But there's a couple different classes of players in the college realm. There is that group that, you know, this guy's going to go to the NFL. This is a guy that pretty much borderline out of high school. They need some development. They got to put on some weight. They got to play in the system, sure. But they're probably going to go have a pretty good NFL career. That's group one. Group two, you have your Stetson Bennett's of the world. Guys that are pretty much only ever going to be known for what they did in college. JT Barrett, and they had probably a successful career, and even before NIL, probably made good money. I've joked about this before. JT Barrett, and I don't know what he's doing now. I think he's coaching, maybe. The best thing he could have ever done was go and open a Chevrolet dealership in Columbus, Ohio. JT Barrett Chevrolet, come on down and get a brand new Sierra 1500, and you get to meet JT Barrett and get an autographed picture. There'd be a line out the butt down the Olentangy River probably for people to do that because he's a Buckeye. He's a legend. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's your second class. Guys that stayed in college, and that was pretty much all it was ever going to be. And then there's other classes of guys that, you know, maybe improve themselves to NFL. And I'm saying, I guess there are some that could muddy those waters, and they're kind of both. They hung out in college for a long time, and then they made it to the NFL, sure. But the vast majority of players fall into one of those two categories. Guys that are actually going to go play in the NFL and have a career doing that. Other guys, their career was basically in college. That's it. And unfortunately, you're going to win with Group 1 more often than not because they're better players. You're going to win with Group 1 more because they're college guys. And you got, like, Trevor Lawrence. Got the best of both. He was there for his 3 years, won national championships, went to national championships, and now he's first overall pick in the NFL. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's fine. But you got guys, and I'm not saying at all that Travion Henderson and Marvin Harrison didn't want to win a national championship. Of course they did. But in the grand scheme of it, it was time, you know, the NFL was probably their end goal. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And that gets back to, you know, I did that baptism with the Michigan thing. That's what I think some Ohio State fans have a real hard time understanding is to, you know what Ohio State fans don't really want to hear that they lie to themselves about? That some of these players don't really care about the Michigan thing. They fake like they do, they pretend like they do, but they really don't.
How dare you?
I know, right? How dare they? And Ohio State fans, just that boils them to no end. And I don't know why. It's fine. It's okay. It's not a big deal. And I'm not going to name names because that's unfair. I don't know that. But yeah, they drink the Kool-Aid for a little bit because that's what they have to do, but they have bigger goals in mind. And that's where they're at. There's no world. There's no way. I frankly don't think there's any NIL money that could get those guys to stay. None. Especially for Marvin Harrison. Do you see that wide receiver market right now? Do you see the money that is going to start getting invested in some of these guys? And you have a chance to be one of the elite? Oh. Bye. And I would tell... I got a lot of flack, Ryan, before the season when I said Marvin Harrison should sit out. And people freaked out on me that I don't value competition and that how dare I? In reality, and I know thankfully he did not get injured. Thankfully, he had a very productive season. In reality, Ryan, if he had sat out, he'd be in the same position that he's in today. The same exact position. Now, I know that it's fun to play football, and Marvin Harrison wanted to play football, and he wanted to play at Ohio State and play with his friends and his teammates and his brothers. That's great, and I love that, and I'm glad. I have no problem with him doing it. But if he would have sat down with me in July, I'd have said, Marvin, don't do it. The risk is too much. And again, I'm so thankful that he didn't get hurt. But he's in the same position that he was before. You want to roll that dice again? No. Go to the NFL. Get out of here. Go. And I'm sure Ryan Day said the same thing. Coaches have to have that awkward conversation, too, with players when they tell them it's time to go or it's time to stay. And they apply to that draft board. None of that applies to Marvin Harrison. That guy's going to be a top 5 pick. There's no question about that. You go. It's time for him to go. So any NIL, it's stupid. Is that Ohio? And again, I don't know the validity of that report, and I apologize for bringing it up because if that's fake, then I'm spreading fake news here, and we don't want to do that. But that's maybe Ohio State trying to save face. That's pretty stupid. I think it's frankly pretty stupid. All right. Oh, we didn't get to timeshares. I got a lot of information on timeshares.
Well, we're seconds away from the Guardians announcing.
Oh, you want to wait for that?
Okay. They've signed Shohei.
Okay. Yeah. I already got a deal on somebody where I got somebody has a sister. If you're interested.
Yeah. Send me the information.
I'll get that over to you. That'll be something in 2024. Maybe we'll work on find Ryan a lady friend.
I'm a play Bachelor show.
We could do that. I've been a part of that several times on my prior stop.
Yeah,
The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Who doesn't want to date an engineer?
Exactly. Recently discovered engineer.
I feel like a new man.
We've uplifted Ryan that he can
My
start
parents are
calling
gonna be so
himself an
proud of me.
audio-visual engineer.
My parents are going to be so proud of me.
Aren't they? Go home. Thanks for the, I think about that. My parents, like, they paid for my school, and I'm like, you paid for me to go to a nice private university. Here I am sitting doing this crap. Thanks, though. There are doctors and lawyers out there. Here I am.
Oh, I'm getting impatient from the Guardians.
It's 10 o'clock. It's 10:01.
Refreshing.
All right. I don't want to spoil it. You want to wait for it?
Yeah.
You want to wait? We're going to wait for the Guardians announcement, which is supposed to be at 10 o'clock.
Tell us about timeshares in the time being.
You want to do that? Okay, so I had somebody that went to a timeshare. So we started talking about a Shohei Ohtani timeshare. So this is what it is. They tell you to go to a meeting. You get free drinks and food and walk away with a $200 Visa gift card. But you're in a conference room. You listen to an hour-long speech. Then you have to go on the tour to go see the timeshares. It's like 2.5 hours, and they won't give you the gift cards until the end. The free food is crappy crackers. The drinks are coffee and like one glass of champagne. It's 2.5 hours of torture for a gift card that you could have been at the pool for 2.5 hours. If you decide to go to the timeshare, they give you more deals, but you have to stay even longer. But do you get to stay the day? Are you there for a week? I think it's like a one-day thing. You get to go to the resort for like one day. And then the timeshare, then there's all the, and again, I'm never really a part of it. I've never done it, but it's like, don't you have to sit down and like argue with other people about what weekends you go there? I have people that divide up their Browns season tickets. And every year they have a meeting where it's a pool of people. It's usually 4 families. And they sit down and they have their draft where one that I know, they roll a dice, right? They roll a die, I guess would be one. And whoever gets it, they get to pick a game. Then the next person picks a game. And I will tell you, even sometimes amongst family, Ryan, that gets nasty. That gets ugly when you pick games. And then they say, damn it, I wanted to go to that game. And then the trade's all. So what's a timeshare like? Where you sit down with people and you go, all right, I really want the weekend of June something. And you go, nope, sorry, I already take it. Well, what's the point? What's the point? The Guardians have sent a tweet, Ryan. They're getting snarky with John Heyman.
All I see is their latest tweet is congratulating Josh Naylor on.
Well, that was an hour ago.
Yeah.
So they sent a tweet as a reply to John Heyman, who said, updated hitter rankings. He did the top 15 hitters, and he did not put Jose Ramirez in it.
Come on, guards. Yeah, so he said, what's the announcement, admin?
It's a concert.
Shut up.
It's a concert. It has to be a concert.
It's Shohei, dude.
The Shohei timeshare between the Mets and the Twins. The Twins and the Mets sent the same video out. It's a concert. I would say it's a crappy concert, but that's mean of me to say. I don't even know who it is. Okay, I lied. I know who it is. I don't want to spoil the announcement. We derailed the show here, Ryan, for an announcement from a team.
That's not
late.
even here.
That's late.
All right, we can do it. All right, Matt, take your show back. I don't want it.
Here comes the announcement from the Garden. No, I'm just kidding. They have not sent it out. Well, I was just going to go to break so we can do the morning update. You want to do that? We'll start with the morning update when we return.
Let's do it.
All right, morning update. I still have Bill Barnwell with his path to the playoffs for the Browns. What was the other thing I was going to do? Oh, we got to talk a little Pro Bowl voting because that's out as well. We'll get into our Twitter question, revisit that as well. Would you sign Kevin Stefanski to a contract extension? That all comes your way next. Matt Fontana Show right here on Big White. No, I'm just kidding. No announcement yet. Back right after this. You got your announcement. Congratulations, Def Leppard.
Boo. Boo.
Yes, the Guardians have made the announcement. It was one of the worst kept secrets that Def Leppard, and Journey and Heart. Come on now. July 30th. Progressive Field. They better get that stadium done, man. They had a lot coming up. That's their announcement.
That just reminded me of an awful take that you had a little while ago.
What?
About Billy Joel.
Oh, but I don't like Billy Joel.
You're nuts, dude. You're actually nuts.
My
Beatles, Billy
my
Joel.
musical hot takes. Bruce Springsteen is overrated. Billy Joel is overrated. The Beatles are overrated. Trying to think if I can get you any else here. The Springsteen and Beatles ones, those are the two that always get again, I respect kind of what they did. None of their songs are in my playlist. I'll just put it that way. I like Def Leppard. I like Journey. It's not the same Journey. You get Steve Perry back, maybe I'll be a little interested. But they found this guy that sounds exactly like Steve Perry. But congratulations. Congratulations. You get Def Leppard next year. That's the big announcement.
All right.
Shohei Ohtani get up there and start ripping pour some sugar on me? Can we do
I don't know
that?
if he's a good singer, but
I will find out.
I mean, I don't think he knows English, so I'm not sure how he's going to do that. But anyway, another
I'll
big
listen to it
announcement.
I'll listen to it in Java. That's fine.
Speaking of big announcements yesterday, seems to be some trouble in Buckeye Paradise. Chip Trainum has been another player that has announced he's going to enter the NCAA transfer portal. Matt, we've seen more than a few Buckeyes already make that announcement in what seems to be a bucking trend.
So Chip Trainum is from Cleveland, from Hoban, I believe. I called one of his football games. He went to Arizona State. Now he went to Ohio State, and now he's going somewhere else. I got to thinking about this yesterday, Ryan. Do you want me to solve the transfer portal issues for the NCAA? I'm going to do it for you right now. Here are the revamped rules because who's the president of the NCAA? Is it Emmert? Mark something? Charlie Baker? Charlie Baker. So here's where we're at. The transfer portal, self-admitted from him, is uncontrolled right now. It's the Wild Wild West. Here are the revamped NCAA rules applied to all sanctioned sports, including football, basketball, and all of them. Are you ready? Number one, the graduate transfer thing is gone, right? And I understand that the NCAA used to do that because they wanted to incentivize players to finish their degree before, and then they can transfer wherever they want. You get that all the time, graduate transfer and all that kind of stuff. That is gone now. That is gone now. The graduate transfer thing is gone. Number two, you get one transfer without penalty. And that applies at any point of your college career. You get a one-time transfer token to go to whatever school you want for whatever reason you want. One time. And number three, you get 5 years, man or woman. 5 years. From your high school graduating year, you have 5 years of NCAA eligibility. That's it. None of this 6 and 7 year crap. None of this, well, I redshirted, then I tore my shoulder out, then this and that. Gone. I'm sorry that you tore your ankle out. I'm sorry that you tore your ACL. But maybe you redshirted. You get 5 years to play your sport, and then we're moving on. I'm done with this 23 and 20. Ryan, you could still be playing quarterback in the NCAA. 23, 24-year-old kids still playing college sports. That's enough. And all of them transfer. And the same thing. You can transfer more than once, but you will sit out a year of eligibility, and that counts against your 5 years of eligibility. Is that a bad system? Is that a bad system? I don't think so. You get rid of graduate transfers. You add a one-time transfer for everybody, and you have 5 years. 5 years to play your sport from your high school graduating year, and that's it. That cleaned things up pretty quick. And I know that there's a lot of hot takes out there about why kids are transferring or a lack of competition or they don't want to compete for their job. Solve all of it. I don't care. Well, the NIL money or this or that, fell swoop. Do that. You got 5 years to play your sport. If you can't make it in 5 years, or if you can, and the same, you could keep going to school. You could keep going to school beyond that. But really, for most degrees, for most bachelor's degrees, can't you not get that done in 5 years? I had buddies that went to BW. They did a 3-2 program where they got their MBA in 5 years. 3 years of undergrad, and it was a lot of work, and there's a lot of studying. Dude, that's life. That's life. You got 5 years in a one-time transfer. Do that, and it'll clean up a lot of this crap. I really think it will. That's not a knock at Chip Trainum. He wants to go play somewhere else. That's fine. The NCAA, for everybody that's always talked about it as the feeder system for the NFL, which it is, it's frankly become like a minor league program where guys leave and get traded and they get moved around, and everybody's searching for what? That opportunity to play. Do you want to know a hard slap in the face reality that some of these student athletes need to hear? You're not going to play. I'm sorry. Okay? And you might say it's a dream for you to go to Ohio State and go try, and you realize that you can't play there and you want to go transfer to a school that you can play at. Okay, do that, but do it once. Everybody searches for what they think is their piece of the pie. Why are all these quarterbacks transferring? Because they think that they're deserving to play or they need to improve themselves from the NFL. Here's the statement that a lot of people need to hear. You're maybe not good enough to play and you're maybe not good enough to go pro. And we need to stop the facade and we need to stop the fakeness that everybody gets to play and everybody gets to go to the NFL. You're not good enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And you can go transfer to whatever school, whatever MAC school you want, or whatever lesser school because you're going to go play. That's fine. Do that once. But stop. When you bounce between 3 different schools and you don't play or don't play well enough at 3 different schools, here's a little idea. It's not the schools, okay? For DJ Ongalele, and I'm sorry to bring his name into this, but he's just top of mind, right? What did he do? He left Clemson. He started at Clemson. Didn't like what was going on there. Went to Oregon State. Was good enough to start there. And now he's transferring again. For what? For what? To improve his draft stock? I don't understand it. Deal with it. I'm sorry. DJ Ongalele should not have any eligibility left. I'm sorry. He should not. He has started for 4 years in college football. That's enough. That's enough. Time to move on.
Our Cleveland Cavaliers got a fantastic win. I would say much needed win against the surging Orlando Magic. Matt, I'm going to task you to do this for me, all right? Give me, in order, let's do 5. The 5 best players on the court in yesterday's game between the Magic and the Cavs.
Okay, so I have to ask, you mean like I'm drafting them to start my team or just the best player right now?
We'll do best player right now.
Right now. Donovan Mitchell is 1. I mean, it's hard to not say Paolo Banchero 2. Evan Mobley 3. I just got this thing with the Wagner twins. I'm not putting them in there.
No, I mean, the younger one's nice. Franz
is much better than Mo. Franz is much better.
I like Franz's game.
So I'll do this. Mitchell, Banchero, Mobley, Garland, Franz Wagner. Okay. Is that fair?
Yeah,
I think that's fair. I really like Cole Anthony. I know he got hurt in that game last night, but... Oh, no, Jalen Suggs got hurt in that game. Twisted the ankle. I like Jalen Suggs, too. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair list.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'd probably do the same. Well, to stay on the basketball trend, I wanted to talk about Luka for a minute because he made some more history last night as we become accustomed to him doing. He had his 60th career triple-double to move past Larry Bird into sole possession of the 9th place overall on the career list. And the impressive part about it is Doncic's 60 triple-doubles have come in just 349 games, while it took Bird 897 games to do the same.
I mean, here's the thing about Luka. He's going to put up a lot of stats. That's kind of what he does. He's got to go start doing it in the playoffs and win a championship. You know what I mean? Like, he has now ascended to an elite level where you would look at Giannis before they won one and say, okay, like, the mark of good NBA players to becoming great is you got to win a championship. And that's any sport. But when basketball is as individual as it is, you can be a Hall of Fame quarterback and not win a championship and just be really good at what you did. You can be a Hall of Fame left tackle, Joe Thomas, and not win a title. In basketball, the elite get championships. They do. And there are some that probably, I'm sure that weighed on LeBron when he made his decision to go to Miami, is I just didn't want to go down as a guy that didn't win multiple championships, right? Luka Doncic is a good enough player that when it's all said and done, he should win at least 2 or 3 championships. At least. Is he going to? I don't know. And eventually I think he's going to leave Dallas to go find some team that he can do that with. Because that's the pressure on a basketball player. You know what I mean? A basketball player is an individual sport enough that he can take games over and he can lead teams to where he needs to go with them. Luka Doncic should win championships. So on the stat padding and all that kind of stuff, yeah, he's a dynamic player and he's exactly what you would want in today's NBA. But I think all those stats will kind of fall flat if he doesn't go win a championship, or at least get close to one.
Well, last morning update here on this Thursday edition. Well, Matt, the best golfer in the world has turned to the dark side. Jon Rahm, Mr. Masters winner himself, has agreed to join the LIV tournament after getting offered. How much money was it, Matt?
I saw $600 million.
Woo!
He signed through 2029. $600 million. $100 million a year, basically, to go play golf for really bad people.
Safe to say Jon Rahm right now is the best golfer in the world?
Yes. I mean, he's certainly up there. I've said this on this show. I don't think I've said it enough as my prior stop. I hate the LIV Tour. I hate the LIV Tour. And I feel like people that have gone over there are sellouts. Because the people that own LIV are really bad people. They are sports washing to try to distract from all the horrible things that they're doing. And I don't stand for it. And some of my favorite golfers went over there. Dustin Johnson was my favorite golfer. He's now on the LIV Tour. I liked Phil. And now if Jon Rahm goes, go for it, man. And the thing is, now they're all the same. And that's the crappy thing, is that the PGA Tour sold out. I don't like it. I keep waiting for it to fizzle out. I keep waiting for the money to dry up. But I don't. Obviously, it's probably not. I live in a world as a golfer myself and as somebody that watches golf that I only watch PGA Tour events. Sorry, I don't go to the CW to go watch the LIV Tour. I really have nothing to promote or nothing to be a part of LIV Tour. So they took Jon Rahm. That sucks. We'll see him at the majors. You know, we will. And the week-to-week tournaments, golf's in a bad spot. Golf is in a horrible spot. This is such a bad look. And I want to begrudge him, but, dude, how can you when somebody offers you $600 million to do nothing? He could go out there and hack it up like me. Well, I take that back. I guess, did you know, Ryan, that a lot of those LIV deals are just advancements on the money that you'll earn in your future career?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So they're all gaudy on, they have, $10 million purses to be split amongst 5 guys or whatever, you know what I mean? That's all advances on some of the money that they're supposed to earn later. But still, you're getting $600 million. I don't know how you turn that down. I understand it. And that's like what Brooks Koepka, that was kind of where he started getting really feisty when he was going after Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. And he said, screw you, man. You guys are rich country club kids growing up. He goes, I didn't have very much. And I had 2 back surgeries, and they offer me a lifetime's worth of money, and you're telling me I'm not supposed to take it? I get it. I just don't like it. I get it, but I don't like it. That's their business. I watched PGA Tour, and this is a huge hit. This is really bad. I think this is really bad. This is really bad. The only thing that can save the tour at this point is that Tiger comes back and plays a plays 4 or 5 tournaments on the tour. Not just the majors, but comes back. They have lost their star power. They have lost their star power. They have. And they have some guys, certainly Scheffler and Morikawa and Rory and Spieth and all them, but still, PGA Tour is in a really bad spot. That's tough. It's tough for them. Oh, that's it. Sorry, that's it. That was a morning update. There we go. Sorry, I'm just everybody reacting so well to the Def Leppard announcement there for the Guardians. Can I ask a question? Is that tone deaf? Is that tone?
What?
Oh, it's a bad pun. It's Def Leppard.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I wouldn't even have picked up on it.
I know. Are they missing the mark on that? Are they missing the mark?
In terms of, like,
everybody...
fan interaction?
No. You are in a pivotal spot with your franchise right now. People are angry. You're not doing, nobody's doing anything. I mean, granted, the Juan Soto trade, they got some deals going around, but like, hey, we got a big announcement, and then it's just a summer tour. Might be a little cringe. Might be just a little bit. And I get it because it's just, today was the announcement. The other teams had the announcement. You know, somebody had an idea of like, hey, we'll announce it during the winter meetings, and we'll dupe a bunch of people into thinking there's some huge announcement. Yeah, you're just gonna piss people off. I'm sure the comments are well received. Complete lack of awareness. That's a weird way to spell Ohtani. I can't believe people are shocked. Multiple teams had the same post. This wasn't a player edition. We know that. Announce any outfielder with average league power, please. I used to like a lot of things the Cleveland organization used to do, but this Guardians organization has yet to do a single thing to excite me. Justice. Wow, okay. You would have made a worthy trade yesterday. You signed Shohei. You made a new TV deal with YouTube or something that makes it extremely to watch your games. That's cool, but I'd rather have anything else except this. Somebody tweets back, I promise you that we don't care.
He's not wrong.
I promise you that we don't care about Def Leppard, Journey, and Heart. They're in a tough spot there, the Guardians. I think it was bad timing.
Yeah,
I think this was really bad timing.
Matt, before we get into our break, to go to the classic time hop.
Yes.
Jamarcus Keaton had a question in the YouTube.
Yes.
Better question is, who would you extend first? Kevin Stefanski or Andrew Berry?
I mean, Barry, at one point, Barry was the slam dunk answer. I preface this by saying I like Andrew Barry, and I want him here with the Cleveland Browns for a long time. I think he's really smart, and I really think he's good at his job. He did not help himself this year. He did not help himself. Jed Wills has been a mistake. Elijah Moore has been a mistake. Trading away Donovan Peoples-Jones seems to be a mistake. Trading away Josh Dobbs on a lower level than some of us thought seems to be a mistake. But I still want both of them here. If I had to pick one, dude, that's really hard. Like, if you had to pick one, you only got one, Stefanski or Barry. Oh, no. I mean, my gut would say Stefanski, because Barry has kind of already built the team. You know what I mean? And a GM, I do think there are GMs that are better in free agency than the draft, and some that are better in the draft than free agency. And I don't quite know which is Andrew Barry, because the draft, what's his best draft pick? MJ Emerson? Maybe?
Yeah, it's really not that special.
It's not. Now, free agency has gone very well, right? Like, again, some of the like Ethan Posick seems to be a really good deal right there. Juan Thornhill seemed to work out. Rodney McLeod before he got hurt. Zadarius Smith, Dalvin Tomlinson, some of those guys on the D-line, sure. And then the deals that he has extended. I don't think anybody had a problem with Nick Chubb's deal or David Njoku's deal or Jack Conklin's deal, and then he got hurt. Which one's the harder one to replace, though? The head coach or the general manager? I could make the case it's harder to find a good GM than a good head coach. I could list you probably 12 head coaches that I would willingly have as my head coach. I don't know if I could say that about a lot of general managers. Like Howie Roseman in Philly is very good. John Lynch in San Francisco is very good.
Mark Davis?
No. No. Bill Belichick? No. I think there's less good general managers out there. I do. So I'd rather, I guess, lean towards that. It's a hard question, though. I think they'll both get extended. I really do think they're both going to have deals coming up. But if I had to pick one, I probably would go Andrew Barry. But I think they'll both get deals. Good question, though. I think it's a very good question.
Matt, real quick question. Would you rather be bald or have Mark Davis's haircut?
Oh, God. Probably bald. Because
that's an intriguing question.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody would stare at you and go, why do you willingly choose that haircut? You know what I mean?
I want to post that.
you want to do it for? Well, we have another 2 for Tuesday about overrated.
Bald or Mark Davis?
You had to pick one. What would you rather have? Be bald or Mark Davis?
I have to
haircut?
imagine the overwhelming answer would be bald.
Post it. I mean, I think that. I mean that. I'll tell you, that's the answer.
Can I post it right now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah, you run the Twitter. You can do whatever you want. Go ahead. I mean that's the answer. There's no way. Because again, you look at him and you go, at this point, he's got to be trolling. At this point,
you think so?
It has to be. He's a billion. Bro, I tell Mark Davis this. I get my haircut. Shout out to the Irish barber, Sean and Jason. They're right there in Fairview. Rocky River. They are the best. And you want to know the best thing about Sean's place? He owns the bar next door. So you can go in there, get a haircut, and go over and have a freshly poured pint of Guinness or Smittix. Mark, if you're listening, you can get all that done for $40. You can get yourself a pint of your favorite beer and get a good haircut for $40. You're worth billions of dollars. He's got to be trolling.
Dude.
He's got to be trolling.
I'm looking at it right now. It's so bad. It's like.
Can you pull it up on the screen for everybody?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows what Mark Davis's haircut looks like. Because the thing is, that's it. Like, he willingly goes to his barber and says, give me that haircut. I want that haircut. He's a weird dude, clearly. But yeah, the answer is bald. You'd be better off being bald than having his haircut
I just
like that.
posted.
You think that hair is fake?
No, no way you got a fake hair that like.
I don't know, because like he might have had implants or something. He just looks like such a goober, doesn't he?
I need the answers. This is the most important question of the day.
Like, why? Like, the haircut. I'm trying to find a story. Okay, here's from the New York Post from 2 years ago. The truth behind Mark Davis's shocking haircut. God, there are so many ads on the New York Post.
I put it on the screen there for the
Okay,
viewers.
you see everybody see that haircut? Here's the truth behind it. His hair, which can be described as a loosely stitched together combination of a bowl cut and the male version of bangs.
Wow.
Has been the
Yes, that's the perfect way to describe it.
bowl
That's what I
cut
was
with
looking for.
bangs.
Yes.
His unique style is no accident. And former head coach, John Gruden expressed his resentment towards the criticism. Gruden said, I think it's a bunch of bull crap with people joking about Davis's hair. If you don't know Mark Davis, you don't like Davis, okay, whatever. Davis shared a technique or lack thereof to get his hair in shape during Hard Knocks. I blow dry it and it ends up like this. I don't really have to comb it. Maybe you should start combing it, Mark. It's not my barber's fault with the hair. I force her to do it. Oh, and of course, Gruden has the same haircut. So that's probably why I liked it. We just get it dry and let it fly, is what he calls it. Weirdo. Is the question up? Yeah.
It's the bangs. Like, it hurts to look at his head.
I know.
It's like one of those things.
Plus,
that you can't like comprehend.
It's distracting.
Yeah.
No, it's distracting because what you could do, Mark Davis could walk in here to have a conversation with us, and you can't stop staring at his hair. It's distracting, is what it is. It's bad, man.
Pat from Cleveland still looks better than Fontana's hair.
What's wrong with my hair? What's wrong with my hair? There's nothing wrong. That's a lie. That's fake because there's nobody in this world that has a worse haircut.
Is that the world's worst haircut?
Yes. Yeah, we don't get political on this show. There's a political figure with a pretty bad haircut too, but no, there's nobody worse than that. He's got the worst haircut known to man. All right, let's get to Time Hop when we return. We'll jump into that. We still have Bill Barnwell. We have to get to the path to the playoffs. Pretty simple as that. It's the win, but percentage chance for the Browns. We'll get to all that coming up right here on Big Play. Matt Fontana Show. Streaming live. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. Don't forget about the iHeart app as well. We'll get to all that next. All right, let's get into it. Our time hop for the day, as it, of course, is the 7th of December. Got a lot of football games to get to here on this day, including this day 2019. The Big Ten title game. Number 2, Ohio State takes down Wisconsin 34-21. That was their 3rd straight Big Ten title. Remember that game, Ryan? Buckeyes are on 21-7 at half. Justin Fields, 3 touchdowns in the second half. Propel the Browns. Excuse me. You want to know why I said Browns? Because we played Clemson in the semifinal, and I went down to Cincinnati to cover what was Freddie Kitchens' last game. I remember watching that game at a bar. Was that the national championship game? The 2019 Ohio State team, did they go to the national championship?
I think that was 2020, because that was the COVID year, right?
No, COVID. So
Ohio State went to the championship the COVID year because they were 7-0 in the national championship.
Right. I'm talking about the year before.
Oh, okay.
This was Ryan Day's first year. No, it was a semifinal. That's right. They lost a semifinal game because remember Chris Olave got tackled in the end zone on what should have been a DPI and they didn't call it. No, 2019. So Ohio State that year finished. What's all their game schedule? So that year they finished undefeated and they beat Wisconsin. They lost to number 2, or they were number 2. They lost to number 3 Clemson in the Fiesta Bowl. Later in the year. So that's where that was in 2019. This day, 2017, Browns fired Sashi Brown. Thank him for Myles Garrett. I'm sure, dude, people get into what he said or what that. I'm sure the Browns were tanking. I'm sure that was the right thing to do. Sashi was just playing the game and he got caught up into it. I don't know, whatever. Sashi got fired this day, 2017. This one, I remember doing this every year because I think it's so interesting. That this day, 2016, Mel Kiper and Todd McShay released their draft preview for 2017. That was the year Myles Garrett, Patrick Mahomes, Mitch Trubisky, they were all in the draft this day, or 2017. So this was the draft preview from Mel and Todd. Number 1, they said there was only one quarterback worth taking in this draft. It was Mitch Trubisky. Patrick Mahomes did not project as a first-round pick and should probably go back to school. They also said Deshaun Kaiser needed to go back to school.
That was Watson's draft, right?
Yep. And then Myles Garrett is everything a team would ever want. That's the only thing they really... Well, I mean, that Deshaun Kaiser should have gone back to school. But yes, they said take Myles Garrett and that Mitchell Trubisky was the only quarterback worth taking over Patrick Mahomes and over Deshaun Watson. What a pretty stacked draft. 2017, Garrett, Trubisky, Leonard Fournette at 4, Jamal Adams 6.
Oh, CMC was in there too.
Christian McCaffrey went 8, Mahomes 10, Marshawn Lattimore 11, Deshaun Watson 12, Hassan Reddick all in that first round, and Evan Ingram. Not Eric Ebron. And, oh yeah, at 30, I forgot.
Was that us?
I forgot. No.
Oh. No, that wasn't Lamar Jackson's year. No, that was, yeah. What?
The 29th overall pick, the Cleveland Browns select David Njoku. That's not what I'm talking about. With the 30th overall pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select T.J. Watt, linebacker, Wisconsin. I know it seems crazy that you would have taken 2 edge rushers, but could you dream? Could you dream for a second of Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt? They also took Jabril Peppers in that first round, too. You want to know who really feels stupid? The Dallas Cowboys took Taco Charlton 2 picks before T.J. Watt. Taco. There it is. So the draft preview. This day, 2014, the Browns fall to the Colts 25-24. Brian Hoyer only a $136 and 2 interceptions. Craig Robertson had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and Justin Gilbert had a pick 6. The Browns had a 21-7 lead in the third quarter and coughed it up for the Indianapolis Colts to come storming back. You want a little box score trivia from that game?
Yes, please.
All right, 2014. The Browns at that point What did I say? 2014? Yeah, 2014. No, it was not 2014. I can't be right. 2013? Wait a minute. 2015?
20-something?
No, I have it written down as 2014, but when I go to the Browns schedule of 2014, oh, I'm an idiot. It was staring me in the face. Browns fall to 7-6. Ryan, that would be the second of a 5-game losing streak on the way out in 2014. The winning quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts that day was who?
2014. Okay. Oh, Andrew Luck.
Yes. 294, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He actually ran for a touchdown. Who do you think the Browns' leading rusher in that game was? 54 yards and a touchdown.
2014. Let's see. The Crow?
The Crow is correct.
Let's go.
Leading receiver for the Cleveland Browns. Browns' leading receiver in this game had 4 receptions for 41 yards. Your guess.
Benjamin Watson.
Good guess. No, same position, though.
Gary Barnidge?
No, another good guess.
What's that other tight end's name? Jordan Cameron.
Jordan Cameron, who do you know has a kid with Tiger Woods' ex-wife? Did you know that?
The more you know.
Jordan Cameron, former Browns tight end, has a kid with Elin Nordgren, Tiger's former wife, ex-wife. They're Eskimo brothers.
Is that the blonde one? The blonde chick?
Yes. Yeah. And then I don't know why I remember this. Then Jordan Cameron's sister has a kid with Matt Leinart and Blake Griffin. All USC connections there. So, yes, Jordan Cameron, your leading receiver for the Browns this day 2014. This day 2013, another just killer game that sticks in my craw. Number 2, Ohio State falls to Michigan State in the Big Ten championship game, 34-24. Connor Cook, Hinckley's own, threw 3 touchdowns in that game. Braxton Miller had a touchdown pass and 2 rushing. Ohio State out of the playoff, and they would go play Clemson in the Orange Bowl. This day, 2007, Barry Bonds pled not guilty to 5 counts of perjury. That was something I thought was so interesting that they went to the Supreme Court about these guys taking roids. Like, for what? Baseball knew,
Yeah.
It's so weird, and trust me, I grew up watching that. I grew up watching the steroid era. They would cut away from the news when Bonds or Sosa or McGuire would come to bat. It was massive, but they had to get, and then the Mitchell report comes out to clean up baseball. I to this day don't really understand why the courts got involved in this. They were using juice and tell them not to. I don't know. This day, 2006, the Browns fell to the Steelers 27-7. The reason this game is important, Willie Parker set the Pittsburgh single-game rushing record, 223 yards against that Browns defense in 06.
06. Wow. Who was our quarterback?
Oh, you want the box score on 06?
Yeah, I want to guess.
All right, hang on.
2006?
Mm-hmm. 2006, Browns Steelers. Leading quarterback for the Browns. Guess.
Is that Derek Anderson?
Good guess. It was Derek Anderson. 21 out of 37 for a touchdown and interception. Oh, my God. The Browns' leading rusher in this game had 5 carries for 6 yards. I'm not kidding. The Browns rushed for 18 yards as a team. This guy had 5 carries for 6 yards, while Willie Parker set the single game rushing record for the Steelers at 223. Your guess on who that running back was?
Wow.
My hint, in no way that would help you, is this guy was a beast in Madden 06. He was a beast, and I ran the ball with him all day.
Holy moly, a 2006 running back.
We traded for him from the New York Giants, if that helps you at all.
I don't think I'm going to get this, Matt.
Do you know Reuben Drones? Do you remember Reuben Drones?
I would have never gotten that in a million
Reuben
years.
Drones is the guy that rushed for 6 yards in that game. I'm sorry. He went to the Giants after us. We got him from Denver.
Okay.
And you want another little box score thing on this? Jason Wright, president of the Commanders, had 2 carries for 2 yards in this game. Your leading receiver, 111 yards for...
In 2006?
Yes. Your hint is he's a Northeast Ohio guy.
Dude, so like I get these like years mixed up, honestly, because don't hate on me, I was 5 years old,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
But
that's fine.
I just like trying to name receivers in that era. There might have been early. Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards was second, 86 yards. This guy had 7 receptions for 111. Northeast Ohio guy, unfortunately, probably one of the big figures in the whole staph infection issue the Browns have. He sued the Browns after he got done for getting staph infections.
Wow.
Joe Jaravicious. Joe Jaravicious.
I like that name, Joe Jaravicious.
Never heard Joe Jaravicious, Penn State guy?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, he's from Northeast Ohio. East Lake Catholic, maybe? For Joe Jaravicious? So, and then in 07, the season of dreams, do you know about the staph infection thing?
No.
The Browns had a rash of staph infections. Jaravicious, Kellen Winslow, some of these guys, I think specifically Kellen Winslow, had to get second surgeries to go in and clean out the staph infections. There was like, they were trying to fumigate the facility. I mean, the Browns, and then they got sued. Like, I know Joe Jaravicious took them to court for suing because they had staph infection problems there a long time ago. So, yeah. This day, 85, Bo Jackson won the Heisman. This day, 1972, Apollo 17 launched. That was the last manned mission to the moon. When are we going back? Do we gotta get up there for anything? Or Elon going to go?
We could do a big play show up there.
Yeah, we could. Obviously, a very important day today. This day, 1941, Pearl Harbor was bombed. Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, Tora. I mean, obviously, the United States, one of the most important days in an unfortunate way in our history. A very happy birthday goes out to Johnny Bench, Larry Bird, Terrell Owens, Steeler Hall of Famer Alan Faneca, former Ohio State long snapper Jake McQuaid. We go that deep here on the show. Yasiel Puig, Tom Waits, wrestler John Moxley, R.I.P. Aaron Carter, and Jeffrey Wright, and the most important one, my brother Brian, celebrating a birthday today. Bro, love you very much, and a very happy birthday to him. All right, 3 movies for you today.
I'm excited.
First up, this day, 2001.
Lord of the Rings.
No, incorrect. Good guess, but no, incorrect. There's a lot of ways that I could give you a hint. Really, I'd love to play the theme for you because I just love it. Okay. Hang on. This might be a layup for you, but I'll do it this. Batman and Tyler Durden need a group of friends.
Batman, you mean?
Okay, so you got Tyler Durden. You know who that is.
That's Fight Club, right?
Right. But I'm just saying that these are 2 actors. These guys, so one is who? That's Brad Pitt, right? The other guy played Batman.
Oh.
They're in this movie together.
Oh.
And they lead a group of friends.
Justice League?
No.
Wait.
No.
Batman?
Take
Ben Affleck?
No. There's been. Keep going.
Christian Bale?
No.
Michael Keaton?
No. There's only a couple left. Keep going.
Oh my gosh, why can't I think? Adam West?
No, not Adam West. Keep going. No. There's only 2 more left.
Kevin Conroy?
No, good pull though, but no. Great. I appreciate you for that pull. No.
Robert Pattinson?
No.
Am I missing one more
Yeah,
Batman?
you're missing 2 more Batman.
Oh my goodness. Ocean's 11.
Yes,
George
that's correct.
Clooney.
Yes.
Okay. Took a little. I need a little help getting
Batman
there.
and
but
Tyler Durden lead a group
Okay,
of. It'd be too
what
easy.
threw me off was because
It'd be too
originally
easy.
I thought you just might have mistaken Edward Norton because he played Hulk. That's why I got
No.
thrown off.
No. Sorry. No. Sometimes I will do that. I'll give you the actors in their other realms, and then they'll do that. Yeah, Ocean's 11. Great heist flick. Like one of the best heist flicks.
It really is.
This is the proper ordering of Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11, then 13, then Ocean's 12 sucks. Can I say that? Ocean 12 sucks.
Yeah.
13's good. I like Ocean's 8, the one with Sandra Bullock and the chick from Thor, the bad chick from Thor.
Natalie Portman?
No.
The hot one?
I mean, I think she's hot.
In Thor? His girlfriend?
No, the bad. She played Helga, or the bad, the green. She's like a world-renowned actress. In Ocean's 8.
I'm trying to think of in Thor.
Kate Blanchett.
She was in Thor?
Yeah, she was in Ragnarok, wasn't she?
Oh.
She was in Ragnarok or one of those. She played. She played the green chick, the Helga. Or
Hela?
whatever. Hela.
Oh,
Thank you,
okay,
Hela.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Hela. Yes. That one. But I was talking about Ocean's 8. That's like an offshoot of it. It was pretty good. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. She actually went from Thor Ragnarok into Ocean's 8. Those are back-to-back movies there for Cate Blanchett. All right, you're 1 for 1. Next up, this day, 1990. A troubled Jack Sparrow tries to ease his way into a world that he doesn't know.
I know it.
Okay, go ahead.
Blow?
No.
Oh.
That's another one. I could have said George Young.
Okay.
No. A young Jack Sparrow.
In 1990?
Yeah.
Rum Diaries?
No, good. I love that movie. Good movie, though. All right, I'll do you one better here. You watch Stranger Things?
I know. Oh, okay. I know exactly where you're going with that. Winona Ryder, Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, that's correct. Well done. Nice job. Yes. I was going to go Beetlejuice, too, but I thought, yes, Edward Scissorhands, creepy movie, pretty good, though. This day, 1990. And then final one, this day, 1965. It's going to be so bad. Please don't clip this. There must have been some magic in that old silk hat they found. Because when they placed it upon his head, he began to turn and shout. Frosty the Snowman, this day, 1965.
Good flick.
I'm not singing on this song. I'm just not going to do it. All right, let's get to our bracket. Time hop in the books. Let's get to it. Our big play bracket of the week. We asked everybody in honor of the Stones. Hey, we didn't add Def Leppard to that. They're not classic rock. They're a little glam rock, in my opinion. But the best classic rock band of all time.
Well, congratulations in Group 3. It was close, Matt.
Close, very close.
Very close. But winning with 33% of the vote is Pink Floyd. They barely beat out Guns N' Roses. Tom Petty in third, and The Doors last.
Unfortunate on that. Group 4.
Group 4 was close as well. Not as close, but taking the win with 36% of the vote.
Suck it, Beatles.
My overrated band.
Suck it.
Queen. The Beatles comes in second with 32% of votes. So we're down to our final four. We got AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, and Queen.
That's a damn good list.
Seeds.
Let's do that. We'll tweet that out at Matt Fontana Show. Get to that. And then we get to our boost tonight with our friends at Tipico. Thursday night football tonight, folks. I will get you your trends and your odds and your picks for tonight anyway. But nonetheless, our show boost is up at Tipico. Use that code BIGPLAY100 when you sign up. You bet $25 and you get $100 in bonus bets. Here's what you do. You download the Tipico app. All you have to do, click on the game for tonight. And right under the game, you see the Fontana boost. Najee Harris, anytime touchdown. Bailey Zappi, 1 interception. And under 33.5, that is boosted to plus 750 on that one, Ryan. Place your wagers. I'm doing right now. Place and bet. And you're in with our boost for tonight. They got a couple other boosts as well. Steelers to record 4+ sacks. Patriots to record 90 rushing yards or fewer and score 13 or less points. Both teams to score in the first quarter, plus 220. Pretty interesting on that. So get the boost and sign up when you use that code, BIGPLAY100. Let's get to it tonight. 8 o'clock down in Pittsburgh, AccuChurch Stadium. Of course, the Steelers kind of keeping alive in this at 7-5, but no Kenny Pickett. They go to Mitch Trubisky, and then the 2-10, just atrocious. New England Patriots. This is at 6.5, Ryan.
Yeah, the script actually already leaked, Matt. So how it's going to go is...
okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be 10-3. The Steelers get the win with...
that's a cover.
The touchdown is Najee Harris. So our bet is looking good.
Good. 66% of public money is on the Patriots, plus that 6, and the over-under is low at that 30. Let's get into the trends here. New England, 0-5 against the spread their last 5 games. Their under is hitting 9 out of their last 11 games. But how about this? All right, one more on New England. They're only 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games on the road. But, dude, they play Pittsburgh well. New England is 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games against Pittsburgh. New England is 13-4-2 against the spread their last 19 games against the Steelers. Steelers 11-5 straight up in their last 16 games, 11-5 against the spread their last 16 games. But you want a trend for the under even more? The under, 4 out of Pittsburgh's last 5 games at home. The under, 6 out of the last 7 games between New England and the Steelers. And the under has hit all 5 of the last games at AccuSure Stadium between the Patriots and the Steelers. So we already knew that the under seems to be a slam. I don't think you overread that, Ryan. I think you just take that under, you roll with it. We'll get a Najee Harris anytime touchdown tonight, and we will love it. Bet with our friends at Tipico. That's it. We got to fly. We talked Mark Davis haircut. We talked timeshares.
Did you see my tweet yesterday about I did your 3 takeaways from last show?
Brad, I'm crapping on Brad Paisley.
I'm gonna do that.
Start doing that every my 3 takeaways.
Every your 3 takeaways.
All right, every day we'll do the 3 takeaways from the show, the 3 things that we did today. And then what else? We talked about Ryan as a new engineer. Congratulations. And finding you a lady friend.
It was 3 takeaways. I'm lonely. 2, Mark Davis has the worst haircut in the world. And 3, DJ Ungalele has to stop playing football.
Yes! That's out at Ryan Tyler 33. That's it. We got to go. We'll talk to everybody for a Football Friday edition tomorrow. Chico coming up at 12. Appreciate everybody joining us this morning. For Ryan Tyler, who's very, very single, and I'm Matt Fontana, very, very married. That's it. I'm not just married. I'm also married. Take it easy.